today's project diary, I will be showing you the best time to harvest your runner beans.
Hi guys, and welcome to Project Diaries. Now, as you know, I usually like to get straight to the point in my videos, but there's something weird going on within YouTube, so please watch this video until the end. I've had to re-record the beginning of this because there's some blanket bans going on, and this channel is being really affected by that. So if you can, please give this a like. Check to see if you're still subscribed. I've had a lot of people saying they've automatically been unsubscribed, and less than 1% of you are now getting notifications for my videos, which is just so weird. But there's this new AI system that's completely automated within YouTube, so nobody's getting the notifications for my videos. So please just help this channel however you can. Give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below. But anyway, getting straight into today's video, I want to do a harvest for my runner beans. Now, I absolutely love these. Grandad loves them as well. They're absolutely incredible and they're really easy to grow, and you get a huge yield if you do this properly. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you just how to do that.
So here are my runner beans around 3 months old, and as you can see, they're trellising really well. They're twisting around the string that I've put in there, and they're growing really strong. Now, these are Scarlet runner beans, and they have been known to grow up to around 20 foot tall. That's around 6 meters. But my trellis is only around 8 foot, and I've managed to twist them all the way back in. And as you can see, they produce a really lovely red flower. Let's see if my camera will focus. Will it let me focus? Come on, camera. Now, once the flower has been pollinated, it will start turning into the seed pod, as you can see below. Now, even when these are really tiny, these are edible, but you want to leave them on a few more days to mature. Now, every day you come up to see your plants, it should be producing more flowers and more beans like this one here. Now, this is still not the right size, so it's not ready to harvest yet. But I've noticed this one here, so if I just move up to hit this one, you can see this one is perfect. Now, it's roughly the same size as my hand. You can leave it a little bit bigger, but around this size is perfect to harvest. And when I look around the rest of the plant, there's quite a few more for me to cut off for Grandad's dinner tonight. Now, when harvesting these, you just need to grab the pod and cut them off with secateurs or scissors or anything you want to cut them with. So I'm going to cut this one off as well, but it's a few days over maturity, so I'll explain a bit more about that in a minute. But I'm going to take off at least what I'm going to use tonight. These cook so quickly, you can almost cut them off daily and have them for your dinner each day as fresh as they come off the vine. So here's a handful of runner beans that are absolutely perfect. Now, at this stage you can eat them raw or cooked, however you want, and they're at their best just before they start producing a bean. Now, if I see this one here is a little bit thicker, as you can see the indentations of the bean on the inside of the pod. Now, this is still edible, but if you leave it too long, when it actually forms the full bean, it's slightly toxic, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But this one's still edible, and you can have this for tonight's dinner. It's completely fine. And there's many ways of eating these. You can either steam them or boil them. Now, my dear old nan used to cook these half to death, so a lot of the nutrients were boiled out of them. But it's a good idea to keep them slightly soft and with a bit of bite. Then you still get all the nutrients in them, and that's the perfect way. Just a few minutes of steaming or boiling, and they're perfect.
So I'm going to try and do this segment as quickly as possible because it's about to rain, but this is roughly the same size that you need to get. Now, my hands are quite big, so you roughly want to go between sort of 5 and 7 inches, but you want to pick them just before they start producing the bean. Now, even though these are called runner beans, traditionally in England we eat the pods. Now, the bean actually has a toxin in it. It's called lectin phytohemagglutinin. Now, this can be quite toxic in large amounts, so the pod is fantastic. You can actually eat these raw. Let me just cut this off. You can eat these. You can eat them like that and they're perfect. But if they start producing the bean, they might get a little bit stringy. So you can see this bit here. So what you do is top and tail them. Now, my nan used to do these all the time. I used to always see her sitting on the front step, and she was top and tailing runner beans when, on a good day, and that was one of my favourite memories of my nan. I absolutely loved that. But if these get a little bit too old, they get a little bit stringy, so you just have to cut the string out. So all you can do is you get the knife, hold it securely, and all you want to do is just run it down the side. It's going to be quite tricky for me to do this on the camera. So yeah, you just want to run it down now. I haven't done this in years. So you just want to run the knife down the edge, take that stringy part off there, and then you just top and tail it. So you cut the top off like that, and then you cut the bottom off like that, and then you can cut it into sections. You can see another string down that side. But this is fantastic. And also, if you are harvesting these, it's a really good idea to take them off the vine. It actually helps the plant to harvest beans as soon as they're ready, because basically, same as most plants, all they want to do is produce the seed, and then they've done their job and they can die back. But if you keep harvesting the beans, then it's going to produce more and more flowers, because it hasn't gone through the final process of producing the final bean, and it will just keep growing and growing and growing all throughout the growing season. So these are the perfect size that you want to get these, but if you want to leave them on to harvest the beans, I'll show you that in the next part.
So as you can see, I've had a fair bit of slug damage this year. They absolutely love these beans, but they're still producing loads and loads. Now, while runner beans are best to be eaten in their pod phase, you can leave them on the vines in order for you to harvest the beans to grow them again next year. But as you can see, it's still producing loads of flowers, so if you are harvesting the beans for next year, you want to do this right at the end of the season. If you allow the seed pods to go to full maturity, your plant will stop producing any flowers, and in turn will give your plant a lower yield. So it's always best to remove your pods just before they start producing beans. Now I'm just trying to train this back in, but I'm having a problem because I'm recording with one hand, but it's quite easy just to train them back in for the trellis and they'll grow huge. Now, to help the new YouTube algorithm, I won't put any links to my videos, but I have made a trellis video in the past, so try to check that out if you can. Now, if for some reason you haven't been able to attend your garden for a few days and you've left some pods on a little bit too long and they've got really mature like this one here, they may end up being really tough, fibrous and inedible, but it's always a good idea to remove these at this point anyway, in order to get yourself a little bit more yield later on. If you do want to eat the beans themselves and not the pods, it's always best to cook them thoroughly and rinse them well. Now it's coming to the end of the season, but as you can see, they're still producing loads and loads of beans because of this warm and rainy weather. They absolutely love it. And even though I've left a lot of pods on here to mature into the beans for next year, they're still growing. If you'd like to learn how to collect beans for next year and how to grow them from seed, I will leave the playlist at the end of this video in the credits. So check them out and good luck growing for next year.
I hope you've enjoyed today's bean harvest video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. If you'd like to keep up to date on all of my future releases, click the subscribe button here. Here are some links to some of my other videos. And if you've tried this or any other project, I'd love to see your progress, so please join my Facebook gardening group where thousands of people are sharing photos and ideas daily. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.